Hello, my name is Aaron Babcock. I am sharing books of patriotic American history, and in this video is the Sons of Liberty. There were a lot more people to the Sons of Liberty than what you're seeing in front of you. But I'm going to go over a handful of the Sons of Liberty, and with some advice, watch the History Channel's show, The Sons of Liberty and Texas Rising. It's a really good viewpoint on that time period in the 1700s. This was after the French and Indian War, right before the Revolutionary War. There was a lot of great debt that the British imposed on people after the French and Indian War, and it got oppressive, and a lot of rights and liberties were being violated. So these were the men that stood up and created the Boston Tea Party and created the First and Second Continental Congress while George Washington started his revolution. John Quincy Adams, at 7 years old, watched the Battle of Bunker Hill, and it was very tragic. So I went over Joseph Warren some. Basically, when he fell, there was over 2,200 British soldiers versus 115 that were killed of Americans, and over 300 wounded, basically on the retreat. And we had killed over 1,000, I believe 1,054 of the British, so over half. It was a heavy cost, but very brave on the American side. And the first shots fired of the Minutemen and the Paul Revere story, as you see, the books are right there. This is an antique one from Random House, very good book. And a Paul Revere biography. I got Sam Adams. This is a really good one. It's always good to get the original biographies and books from as old as you can get, and the Library of Congress and what have you. And we have Richard Henry Lee, and he was calling for independence. And we have John Hancock, first president of the Continental Congress, and he wrote letters to George Washington, and he was the lead statesman. And you have Patrick Henry, former governor of Virginia. No taxation without representation, very important message. Very big voice back then. George Mason began the Declaration of Rights of Virginia, which inspired James Madison's Bill of Rights, and the Anti-Federalists, basically on God's natural law and rights. Without a constitution, were basically the Anti-Federalists wrote their opinions during the ratification. You have the Boston Tea Party. I have these early, or actually 1891 American Commonwealth history books. They're really old originals. And I've got a few Ben Franklin's letters, biography, and this one's a real thick one, 1930s, I believe, by Carl Van Doren. Let's see here. Doran. So that's a good one. And then Search of a Better World. So yes, he did lots of great things. So a lot of pictures in that book. So moving on. These are the Sons of Liberty, and I would recommend, if you love that history, to definitely buy the books if you watch the show on the History Channel. And all these will make a big impression on you, learning about what their lives were like. These guys were all geniuses, and they stand out in history a lot. Of so many obstacles that they went through, and the inventions, the strategies, American way of life, and it was developing our American citizenship from the Pilgrims in the Commonwealth through the Sons of Liberty. And yes, our country's had a lot of wars, but this was kind of an in-between time when there was a citizen life. And it's very important to remember how they lived, how they died, and how we can learn from those great men. So, and what the daughters and mothers were doing at the same time period. So anyway, I will talk to you later, and I hope you enjoy the Sons of Liberty books, and I hope you just keep on building your libraries up. Thank you very much, and take care, and God bless. Please like and subscribe.